Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I haven't been making a whole lot of videos lately. I've been busy. A lot of personal business, nothing serious. But I want to apologize to my regular subscribers. Please forgive me. Anyway, I wanted to reflect today on 9/11, September 11th, which is today. Today's September 11th, 2024, and I'm talking about what happened 23 years ago, back in 2001. I can't even believe it's been 23 years, but anyway, what exactly? My heart hurts. It really does when people talk about all these conspiracies that, the terrorist, there was legit reasons why our Air Force couldn't intercept those terrorists in those commercial flights and all this other stuff. But I remember back then, I was downtown, I was working for Cook County in Chicago, and I got trapped in a building on my off day for 4.5 hours trying to get out. They acted like it was World War III starting. Nothing happened in Chicago, but we were all alerted. But the funny thing is, where was Bush? Bush all of a sudden decides he can't even read, so he decides to go to the elementary school and read storybooks to kids on that day. And they show a picture of him with the storybook was upside down, so what was he reading? Then also, Cheney, they couldn't locate him. They finally found him. I guess he was shooting billiards in the White House somewhere. And nobody else in the chain of command was able to have those planes intercepted and shot down. Why was that? A big nation like the United States of America, and we couldn't intercept those planes. I'm sorry for going on this rant, and then CNN, the Clown News Network, which I used to watch before they became totally fake, they reported the very next day over 800 senior employees from the World Trade Centers called in sick. They called in medical on the day of the attack. What's up with that? They only reported that for one day. I don't know if anybody remembers that. If you do, please comment below. And I also remember the day prior to that, the federal government, Rumsfeld, was in big trouble because $4 billion was missing from the defense spending. And all those records were destroyed conveniently when the plane went into the finance department over at the Pentagon. How convenient of all buildings, the finance department, where $4 billion was missing. So this is just my rant and rave on all this. And those poor people who got killed in that World Trade Center, the ones who didn't call in sick that day, their children, their families, fathers, and their mothers all had to suffer and been suffering ever since for 23 years. Who do we hold accountable? Do we actually believe that 3 or 4 would-be terrorists could overtake 4 commercial flights and some of them had to travel over 2 hours and no one intercepted them? This is absolutely ridiculous. Well, that's just my opinion. It really upsets me. A lot of people died for nothing. If you have any opinions, positive or negative, please let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. Because I remember that day very clearly, and I remember the after effects. I also remember when they were reported that all the Twin Towers both came down. Not toppled over. They came straight down. And another thing I wanted to add is some of the employees mentioned also, I think it was NBC or ABC, the employees mentioned that they were rewiring the phone service for those 2 buildings 2 weeks prior to this incident. Does anybody remember that? The phone service was in the Twin Towers for 2 weeks prior. Rewiring everything suspiciously, working around the clock. When everyone's converting to wireless, they're rewiring the buildings for phone service. Anyway, that's my opinion. If you have any comments you want to make, please make them. I'll read them and I'll try to respond to everybody. God bless those poor people who lost their lives in 9/11. And God bless you and your families.